Hi VC, Dark Dove back with you. Update with a bit of a difference. This is going to focus entirely on CDs. Plus I have a book to show as well, but a very interesting haul of CDs which I made in one particular charity shop last week. It's a charity shop where I've previously shown a massive score which I made there before, which I spread out over two videos of a big haul of Philip Glass, Steve Reich, ambient CDs. I think there was about 20 or 30 CDs that time, I'm not sure, but anyway, it's the same charity shop again. So these CDs were €1 each. I have a sneaking suspicion they may have been donated by the same person who donated that previous big haul. But this CD haul includes an almost complete discography of Pink Floyd albums. I'm going to go through them with you now. Some of these I already have on vinyl. Some of them I don't have on any format. So I'm going to start with the earliest ones. Now, it didn't include Piper at the Gates of Dawn, but I do already have that. I have a CD box set of that. So starting at the beginning, Saucerful of Secrets, Pink Floyd's second album. I'm not going to do too much of a review now on these albums. It's more just to show the haul, really. So I'm not going to do too much of a critical analysis because I don't want the video to run too long. Okay, so a lot of the CDs I think are from the 1980s, such as this one. Others then are from a part of the 1994 remastering series. But yeah, so this, and now a lot of them, the jewel cases were quite dirty, so I had to give them a good cleaning. There's a lot of they look like they've been stored somewhere for a long time and not played. There was kind of a lot of layers of kind of dirt and grime on this. And some of the jewel cases I replaced. I cannibalized some old empty boxes that I have. But anyway, yeah. So this is Saucerful of Secrets. I think a late '80s release on CD there. So that's the first one. Next up is one that I was actually missing, and this is the soundtrack to a 1969 movie called More. I haven't seen the movie. It's a kind of a druggy counterculture film. I think it's set in Ibiza, but this is a soundtrack which Pink Floyd did in 1969. This is fantastic, and I had been looking for this. This is one of the ones I didn't have on any format. So again, that's a 1980s CD issue of that one. No, it didn't have Amunga Mumba was one of the few that was missing. I already have that on vinyl. So next up is At a Mother Heart, which I also have on vinyl. Now this is part of the 1994 remastered CD reissues. So they all have like a picture on the actual disc itself. So and yeah, for the most part, the booklets are in pretty good nick. But with a couple of them, I did also score some Pink Floyd CDs as part of this haul as well. And now some of them have suffered water damage, and I'll show you them. I'll show you them as I go along. But most of these are fine. Some of them are slightly stuck together, but this one's okay though. So that's Atom Mother Heart from 1970. Now next up was one which I was missing. Again, I didn't have this on vinyl or CD, and that is Meddle from 71. Again, part of that remastered 1994 issue. I think the booklet in this is slightly, maybe I'll just have a quick look. No, it seems okay. I think I was thinking of another one. So yeah, so that's Meddle, a fantastic album. I had been looking for it. Hard enough to find on vinyl, so this was certainly do me. Now this is another one which I picked up on vinyl fairly recently, and that is Relics from 71 again, compilation album. Yeah, so it has some of their early stuff from the Sid Barrett era. Very nice comp. It's nice to have it now on both formats, on vinyl and CD. Again, something. Oh yeah, the most obvious one which is missing was Dark Side of the Moon. I do have that on vinyl as well, but it's conspicuous by its absence from this particular haul. So, oh yeah, also yeah, Obscured by Clouds is missing as well. That's one. That is one which I don't have on vinyl. So, but anyway, next up, Wish You Were Here. Also have this on vinyl. So this is so this is an early CD issue, which is nice to have. And all of these are in pretty nice nick. You know, they were like the discs themselves are in pretty good enough shape. Like, there's, you know, they just have light. Some of them have light marks, but none of them have, you know, none of them look like they've been absolutely played to death. So yeah, 75. Yeah, so it's really nice to have these. Some of these CDs, I think, particularly the 1980s ones, I think are quite collectible. I was looking up some of them on Discogs, and some of them go for quite a bit. But you know, I'm not selling them. I'm definitely keeping all of these. Next up, and again, this is another one I was missing. Don't have this on vinyl. Animals from 1977. There we go. 94 remastered reissue. Some of these photos were now sleeve design is by Hypnosis. Some of these photos were taken by Peter Sleazy Christopherson of Dropping Gristle, who was a member of Hypnosis. I think possibly this one might have been, and I'm sure there's I'd say definitely that one, the one of the toilet. Yeah, so I was missing that on vinyl, so very nice to pick that up. And all of these were €1. Next up, again another one I was missing, The Wall, and yeah, this is a double. Comes with this is, I think, a pretty early CD. Yeah, okay, the album came out in '79. This, I think, is from '85. This is like the earliest CD issue of this of this album. Comes in, I don't know if it came in a slipcase or something, but this is how it was in these two completely separate CDs. I think one of these, now the booklet of one of these, or maybe both of them, has been kind of slightly water damaged, I think. Shit. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, this one is, yeah, that one's kind of, it's slightly, focus. Yeah, there's a bit of damage to this one. It's kind of water. The pages aren't stuck together, but it has gotten wet at some point, and it's slightly tatty. The other one's okay, I think. Yeah, so yeah, I was missing this one as well. Yeah, a lot of people would say that it was Floyd's last really good album. Next up, now, the next three ones are, well, obviously The Endless River isn't included in this haul because, you know, it only came out last year. But their next three ones before that, the final cut. Now, I haven't listened to the three of these yet. I have to admit, I don't know what to expect with these. I have heard kind of mixed kind of things about their kind of three 80s and 90s studio albums. So anyway, this is the final cut, which came out in '83. I think this was the last one to feature Roger Waters before the split. So okay, yeah, the teeth. Oh God, the teeth are broken there, so just have to be careful because it tends to fall out when you open it. And the booklet just kind of went sliding out there as well. So back in we go. So I haven't listened to this yet. So will be interesting to see. To listen to that and see what it's like, because I'm not at all familiar with it. As is the case with this one. Now this is from '87. A Momentary Lapse of Reason. Now Roger Waters had left at this stage, so funnily enough, Dave Gilmour and Richard Wright was missing from the artwork, even though he actually is on the album. So I don't know, some band politics or whatever. He's not in the photo shoot for some reason. Again, I'm not at all familiar with any of the. I've never actually listened to this, so it'll be interesting to see what that's like. And the Division Bell. I'm slightly familiar with this. I remember some of the tracks that came off that were released as singles in 1994 when it came out. So has those kind of symbols there on the there. So yeah, so that's the studio albums. Now ending the Pink Floyd haul is Pulse. This is a box set which came out in '95, I think it was. This is quite interesting because it's got this LED light which I think is supposed to light up doesn't seem to work anymore. I don't know if you can change the battery in it or not. There is some kind of I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think you can actually open up this part of it here anyway. So but so it's a box set. It's a double live album. Comes with a booklet and 2 CDs. There you go. So, and also this coaster. Yeah, this is a bit of a collector's item. So I picked that up. That was included in the haul. So that was €1 as well. So the box itself is slightly tatty, and it looks like somebody had a candle or something on top of it, because it's all bits of candle wax on top of it and stuff. But still, very nice to pick that up. Kind of a novelty item. I haven't listened to it yet, but still getting through all the CDs. Haven't listened to all of them, but that was the Pink Floyd haul. So that was absolutely amazing to get all those. And somebody just handed them in. They'd just been donated, I think, very shortly before I walked in the door. Whoever donated them also donated these 4 items, which I picked up as well. This is a compilation album by Mutantes, Brazilian psychedelic band from the 60s and 70s. Yeah, so this is a late 90s compilation. Very pleased to pick this up. This is great. This is like kind of Latin American influenced psychedelia. Now, what I was saying earlier about the book, some of the booklets being wet, this one the pages are kind of a bit stuck together on this one. So I won't actually take out the booklet. As with the next item, which, staying with South America, is the Chilean protest singer Victor Jara. This is a live. Is this a live album? Is it? Well, it's a compilation album. Victor Jara, he was murdered by the Pinochet regime in 1973. This is called Manifesto. This is I think it's a late 90s CD issue of an album from the early 70s. Now, this booklet has kind of suffered water damage, and actually it was stuck to, this part of it was stuck to the CD. And the booklet itself, some of the pages are still stuck together, so that's what I was saying about the water damage earlier. This is by Damon Albarn of Blur and Gorillaz fame. This is an opera that he wrote called Monkey, which is based, as far as I know, on the same Chinese legend that was the inspiration for that that 80s TV series Monkey. A lot of people might remember that. Artwork by Jamie Hewlett, who also does the artwork for those Gorillaz albums that Damon Albarn has produced. I haven't listened to this either yet, so this is in perfect condition actually. So looking forward to having a listen to that. And final part of the haul is the soundtrack to Betty Blue, that quintessential 80s art house movie. Brilliant soundtrack. 86, I think, by who's it by? Oh God, Gabriel Yared. Okay, so that was all part of the same haul. Massive Pink Floyd haul. All these other ones, ost.Mutantes, and other great stuff. So I'm very, very pleased with that. The other thing I'm going to show you, just kind of briefly, is another item I picked up in a charity shop some time ago. I've been meaning to show it for a while, but never did quite manage to slot it in. This is a book. It's a book detailing the artwork of Roger Dean. It's called Views. Now, I actually picked this up in a charity shop for €2.50. When I spotted it, I actually thought it was an album because it was propped up, and it's like the pages are kind of album sized, so to showcase his artwork. This book came out in 1975. Now, as you'll know, I mean, for anyone who's familiar with Roger Dean, the illustrations are absolutely amazing. It goes through, there's designs that he did for album covers, preparatory drawings. That's one I never actually knew he did this one. Doctor Strangely Strange, Kip of the Serenes, or Heavy Petting rather, is it, or is it Kip of the Serenes? Anyway, Ramesses, so some great illustrations. Goes through, let's go to some of the illustrations there. It's for Gravy Train. Go. These are, yeah, there's a whole section on Yes in here, Yes's albums. Poetry drawings. Good. I think these photos. Yeah, they're like models that were made for some of the illustrations. And go. So yeah, so that's a fantastic book. Oh yeah, the Virgin label. There's all the designs he did for that. Yeah, so this is a really nice find, and yeah, that is the spaceship label for Vertigo. Yeah, so it's a really nice find. It was very cheap pickup in a charity shop. Okay, so that's it. I'll be quite busy listening to all those Pink Floyd CDs, getting through. I haven't got through all of them yet. I have a lot of vinyl to show as well. I made some very nice pickups, was at a record fair. So I'll be doing another video fairly soon. So until then, thanks for watching, and see you soon.